Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Shout Out Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's Marco here to talk about Fargo Season 4, Episode 3. And Safi will be giving her thoughts in a separate thing after I give mine, because I just thought I should I should be unfiltered and free to say what I want to say. And so, Safi doesn't like hearing language. She has this weird, old-fashioned idea that on YouTube you can't say any bad language or anything, you know. But anyways, this episode, I enjoyed it more than the last two episodes, which, you know, I still hate. They're still trash. I'm not going to change my opinion just because a couple of trolls came on and called me a racist just because I didn't like something that had an African American actor in it. Like, that's literally the argument that they made. And it's like, you know, I could go through scene by scene. I could literally tear it apart if you really wanted me to, but I'm sure you wouldn't even watch the video. And so what's the point? You know, I'm just giving my opinion. And you can choose to like it or not like it, but don't call me racist because I just happen to not like something that happens to have Chris Rock starring in it, doing a terrible job. He's still doing a terrible job in this episode. And that's where we're at. We're at episode 3, and this episode basically it was an improvement. It still wasn't very good. I mean, I enjoyed some things about it. I didn't enjoy some things about it, and I'll be fair with that. I really liked Timothy Oliphant, and I liked the other guy, the other police officer detective who's like, you know, he's a nervous person, which I think is really cool. I think that that's a good thing for a character to have on this type of show. It makes things more suspenseful and everything. And so I really liked those two. I thought that all that stuff was pretty good. You know, and I think that the best thing about this episode was that narrator girl is hardly even in it. Because, I mean, her character, it's too bad because I think that the actress, she's doing a really good job playing the part that they gave her. But, I mean, her character is just so unlikable. So I'm glad she wasn't in this episode very much at all. And then, basically, the rest of the episode, I like the Irish guy, Rabbi Milligan, and I liked him a lot. He did a great job. I can't wait to see more of him. I love Nurse Mayflower. I mean, she's really cute, and she did a great job. She's basically doing Nurse Ratched, but doing Nurse Ratched good. I mean, there's literally a show on Netflix about Nurse Ratched, and this woman on Fargo is doing a better job being Nurse Ratched than the actual Nurse Ratched did on Ratched Season 1. And so I think that that's pretty funny. But other than that, my problems. I think that this show, I didn't have a problem with the lighting, actually. I think that Safi she's watching it on the iPhone screen, and so I think that has something to do with it. You know, I just think it has to do with the color filter. The fact that they put this filter over everything and make it look a different color. That's a common thread with historical movies and TV shows, where it's like, oh, back then things looked yellow. Things looked brown. What I mean by that is like the whole picture. Oh, back then, the world looked yellow. And so they do that, literally. And I hate that. I hate that. But, you know, I didn't have a problem with the lighting in this episode like I did last episode with the whole, you know, shower. It looked like everyone's taking a shower because of the horrible lighting. But no, I didn't have a problem with the lighting at all. So Safi was a little bit off the mark with that one. Because she's going to talk for like 15 minutes about the lighting, probably. And then, other than that, I think that the biggest issue is the fact that there's about 4 people on this show who are taking the material seriously. Nurse Mayflower, okay, she does a great job, and she's really cute. and then Rabbi Milligan, awesome, and then Timothy Oliphant, and then the nervous guy, the nervous cop. All four of them are great characters, and I'd love to see more of them. And then all the rest, well, actually, the family of the narrator, I mean, they're taking it seriously, but it's just the fact that it doesn't really seem like they can do very much. It seems like they're, you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be able to go up against Chris Rock or go up against the gangs. It just seems like they're going to be the parent characters. But yeah, these four people, those four people whom I named, they are taking the material seriously. And then the rest of them are treating it like a parody. They're treating it like a joke. They're treating it like a cartoon. And now I'm going to rant about that Mario guy. That Mario character. The brother. The big fat brother with the cap on his head like he's Mario. And the big fat mustache. And the googly eyes like he's mentally retarded. He is so bad. He is just acting like a complete buffoon. A complete idiot. He's just sitting around googling his eyes, smiling, making these stupid faces like he's just, like he's out of it. Like he's just, like he had a lobotomy or some shit. Like he's just terrible. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? It's like, why did they let him do this? I mean, he's a walking stereotype. He is a stereotype of a character, and his character's trash too. I mean, all his character does is fuck shit up for everybody. I mean, he has no purpose whatsoever other than to cause trouble. So I really wish that he would die pretty soon, because I hate him. He's just completely unlikable. And he's just doing it. He's just comedy. And then you have this scene where you have Jason Schwartzman, and he's, I like him as an actor, even though I haven't liked the movies he's been in, like Bewitched. I hate that movie, obviously. I bet you guys do too. But there's this one scene where he's just sitting in a car, and he's literally finger gunning out the window up at the hospital, like he's gonna kill the head doctor, and he literally just keeps on finger gunning, like nonstop. Like, he doesn't just do it once, like, okay, I see you, buddy. No, he just sits there, just over and over and over again, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, this is just, it's stupid. It is stupid. It is cartoony and goofy and dumb. And then you have, I would say, probably the worst characters, if not some of the worst characters, besides the narrator. The bank robbers. The aunt, and then the Native American girl. God, I hate those characters. They're so unlikable. I mean, they're just criminals. I mean, they're just horrible criminals. And I really don't get why we're supposed to like them, or why we're supposed to, like, have this affinity for them. Like, they're these, I don't know, it just feels like they're like kids. I mean, they're running around, they're like slouching over the table, and they're like, just acting like little kids running around playing dress up, playing games. I hate those characters. And I loved it how spoiler alert, the Native American girl eats a lot of the pie. And I love that, because I thought, okay, if she gets sick, maybe she'll let her guard down and get killed, and we won't have to see this awful character again. Because then they go to rob a bank. I mean, they just got out of prison, they're going to rob a bank. I mean, they're acting like it's the 1800s or something. I mean, they're just completely unlikable. I hated them, and so I didn't feel anything when the police were trying to search for them. honestly, I felt like, okay, find them and put them back in prison now. Because I just hated them. And I kind of liked the bank robbing scene at the end. I thought that was okay. Other than that, the Irish guy, Rabbi Milligan, he's, spoiler alert, he's basically almost coerced into doing something stupid. And he ends up not doing it because he basically says, the boss isn't giving these orders. The stupid, fat, dumb Mario goofy guy is. And so he doesn't do it. And I thought, it just seems like these like random events. Like it doesn't really feel like there's a plot. It just feels like there are these events that are happening, and they're just random, and they have the message in them, all these agendas, and so that's what it's about. It's about getting the message across through just different various scenarios. And there was one thing that really pissed me off a lot, and it had to do with doctor, nurse, president, whatever, doctor, senator, whatever. Uh, there's this one scene where and this is a huge pet peeve of mine in movies and TV. He goes into this cafe, this diner, and first off, he gets a coffee. He puts 2 sugars in the coffee. And then he orders a full breakfast with pancakes and scrambled eggs. Then he takes the scrambled eggs off of the plate and puts it aside on the table. And then he picks up the silverware. And then he tells this generic racism story about the war. It's a pretty just generic, oh, this guy was racist to me. I did this 400-page report and it just turned out to be BS. And I thought he was doing a good job with that acting. But then he literally drops the silverware on the table, gets up, doesn't eat anything, doesn't drink any coffee, puts on his coat, pays for it, and leaves. I mean, that is some stupid writing that I've ever seen. I mean, what the hell is that? I hate that when characters in movies and TV get food and then don't eat it. They get food and they talk and then they leave. That's stupid. I hate that. I'm so sick of seeing that. If you want to see something else like that, go watch the movie Meatballs, where Bill Murray, he orders this whole basket of fries and then he just leaves. I mean, no one even touches the fries. They're just sitting there while he talks, and then they leave. No one even eats them. I thought that pisses me off. But overall, I would give this episode a D+. It jumped up 1 letter grade, which is still below a C. But in all fairness, I have been watching Fargo season 3. I'm on episode 8. And I would say that season has a lot of problems too. And that season doesn't have black people in it. And so it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with anything like that. It just has to do with bad writing and bad filmmaking. I mean, I don't know what they're doing with this season. It's just I'm just not looking forward to each week. I'm more so just looking forward to individual performances. I really like Timothy Olyphant in the show. As I predicted, I thought that he did a great job and that he's going to continue to do a great job. And I hope that this will be the first season where I actually like the police character. Because in Fargo season 1, as you know, I hated the police characters in Fargo season 1. Season 2, I liked the main police guy, but then it turned out he was related to a trash guy from season 1, and so I hated him. I hated the father policeman in that one. Grandfather. He just had this thick plot armor. He could get shot a million times and stabbed and just survive because he's the good old granddad. And then in season 3, hate those police characters. And then season 4, oh, finally, I like this guy. I like Timothy Oliphant. Even though he's Mormon, he's part of a cult, I still like him. I think he's a great character. So, yeah. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like it or dislike it, because disliking helps too. And because I don't care. I'll give my opinion. And if you don't like my opinion, then I don't care. I'm going to give my opinion on this show. And, I like the other seasons. And so don't act like it's just ridiculous with this whole YouTube thing, where it's like you can't give a negative opinion without getting trashed. You can only give a negative opinion on certain things. And so, but whatever. I will continue to review this season, and hopefully it gets really good. Maybe it will, actually, because it seems like they're able to get the agenda stuff out of the picture and make a good show once in a while. And so, anyways, goodbye, everybody. See you soon for Fargo Season 4, Episode 5. Oh, wait, no. Episode 4. Sorry.